Plan Commission meeting to order. Could we have roll call, please?
Grant.
Here.
Denker. Hutton. Tretzky.
Here.
Matthias.
Here.
Moskowitz.
Here.
Split.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Is there a motion to approve minutes from March 19th meeting?
I move to approve the minutes from March 19, 2025.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are approved. Move to our first CSM. This is for Madaram on Moraine Drive lots. This is for dividing a parcel back to its original two parcels on Moraine Drive, Lot 1 and 2. We don't have anyone.
No, it's pretty simple. This was kind of a late addition. They're working through this, so John and Mary Madaram owned this property. I would say 2 years ago or so, they combined the two lots. They were gonna build a house on it. They priced that house out and decided to not build a house on it. So, so now they are parceling it back off with the intention to try to sell them.
Is this the one that has the slope in the back, one of them?
Lot 1 has a bit of a slope, and that's why we
That's why they
combined
combined
them to begin with. It would have been, you know, for where they wanted to position and place their house, it was advantageous to do that. And it was going to be a rather, essentially two normal houses in one, right? Pretty big house. So now they've been trying to market and sell it as one giant lot, and feel it's easier to split it back and sell it individually. So.
Any motions or discussion there?
I'll make a motion to approve the CSM for Madaron Moraine Drive lots.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the CSM for Madaram, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. There goes the ambulance. Next up, CSM for KT Real Estate Holdings LLC, 545 East Fond du Lac Street. Are you here for the CSM or
We're here
the
for
site plan?
We're here for both.
Okay. So if we have questions. And this would be combining the current Quick Trip with the triangular
Correct.
outlot
Yep.
where the bank slash
Dry cleaner.
dry cleaner drop off. They never actually did dry cleaning there. Used to be. Any discussion or motions on this one?
I'll make a motion to approve the CSM for KT Real Estate Holdings LLC, 545 East Fond du Lac Street.
I'll second the motion.
Great. I like this. Everything's straightforward so far.
So they intending to do something on it? I'm just curious.
That's next, Lud.
Yeah. You guys do your homework,
Any further discussion on the CSM?
Gotta be patient.
Any discussion on the CSM portion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the CSM for KT Real Estate Holdings LLC, 545 East Fond du Lac Street, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. All right, moving on to the site plan for the same property. And now a larger property. Do you want to give us an overview of what the project is?
Sure, just a little base overview of what's going on. Building addition to the north and the south. This is chicken addition, so kitchen, cooler, freezer space on the north, additional storage on the south. And then due to the addition on the south, they're going to be relocating or pushing that dumpster enclosure out further to the south. And then in terms of the remainder of the site, so utility replacement, addition of a grease interceptor, replacing a sanitary line that's in poor condition, and then adding additional parking to that east lot.
So is this addition cutting into, yeah, so it is cutting into the side parking?
Yep.
Where the employees typically park?
Yep.
Okay.
Part of the reason to add the parking on the east.
How close is that south addition coming to East Sullivan Street? Is it, I mean, I don't even know what the setback is.
You got a setback at 20 feet, and we've got the building at a little bit over 22 and a half feet.
Okay, so you, yeah. It's gonna be, it's gonna look different, it's gonna be closer, but it'll still.
Any changes to the driveway entrances?
The existing driveway for the whole, for the currently vacant lot is being closed off.
So no additions?
No additions. Existing curb cuts are being closed, but those are all again to the vacant lot. The ones that are going to the parking lot are to remain and not be changed.
So they enter the new parking area from the current Quick Trip driveway?
Correct.
And the placement of your storage tanks is not an issue with?
Yep, that's not being replaced, so the fuel trucks will take the same route that we do today.
Makes it look very wide. There are a lot of Quick Trips with the very long, skinny footprint like that.
Yeah, well, they can't really go off the back on this one, you know, to the west, they're kind of already handicapped there. So this one's there's kind of a couple standard prototypes, and this is kind of the longer one that they have. Otherwise, most of them are kind of like a fat L,
Yeah.
essentially.
And Adam, did we run this past building
We
inspection?
have run it past building inspection, no issues. They have experience with these types of additions and have seen them across the state. It's very common, no issues with setback, and then no issues from DPW or utilities as well. The grease trap thing is encouraged with what, you know, they'll be doing there. Beyond that, no other concerns with the layout that were registered by staff.
There's still gonna be parking in the front, right next to the building.
Yep.
Correct.
And then how many stalls are gonna be back here?
Ooh, I can get you, the total stalls is going to be 36. Code required is 24. On that east lot, it looks like you're gonna get 19.
And that's primarily for employees, or?
They like to have their employees park in the furthest spots, so those would primarily be probably first for employees.
Anyone like to make any motions?
I'll do it. I move to approve the site plan for a Quick Trip at 545 East Fond du Lac Street.
I'll second.
Discussion. There is no discussion. All those in favor of approving the site plan for Quick Trip 770 at 545 East Fond du Lac Street, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Thank you for coming.
Thanks much, guys.
Thank you.
With your survey, you're gonna send that to the office later, or you have it with you tonight?
We'll send it in later, the hard copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll
Okay.
get sent in
Okay.
later.
Very good.
We'll talk to you.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You as well.
Project update, staff reports.
I don't really have anything.
Wonderful. Future agenda items? Future agenda?
Nothing right now. So we'll see if we have to meet next month.
It's spring. We'll have to meet next
So-
month.
Is there anything we should, as plan commission members, attend that state of Wisconsin meeting next week?
So what?
The highway one?
The highway one?
Oh, I mean, you can. It's more of an informational and feedback. You know, they had one a couple days ago or a week ago for like public officials, I think, and it'll be similar to that, but more interactive. So just taking and soliciting feedback. Everybody that is, I believe, in the corridor of the project received a letter inviting them to the open house. Certainly, I would encourage you, if you're interested in the project and want to give feedback, you know, because there are design elements that they talked about with the city previously and at the last week's meeting that, you know, they're going to take feedback on, and it's kind of their due diligence period to look at alternatives for their core plan and solicit feedback from the public. So there are things within the plan that I would say could drastically change some of the landscapes around the state highway coming in off from Douglas to Houston, as well as then from, Blackburn to Union. Blackburn to Union's probably a little bit more drastic of a change, or at least from past City Hall out,
Yeah.
of what they're looking at, because they are, putting forward a core plan of a road diet. And so, that's, I'll have to look, it's posted online, but I think the 21st at 4 to 5, 6
Yeah,
o'clock.
something like that.
So it's just, certainly.
We got a letter, I got a letter at home, I don't know, I guess they're going
22nd
Maybe
at
a-
5 p.m.
a block off of each.
Yeah.
We don't own one right on that, but,
You might have, you might have got one because you're in the downtown too. You might have got it for your downtown
Okay,
business. Because
yeah.
they blanketed the downtown as well, because they send core business districts the letter as well.
okay,
So,
good.
And nothing in that project should fall under our scope for review, because it's all in right-of-ways. We're not moving into any private properties, site plans.
but, well, they have to determine that. That's part of this due diligence alternative. That's going to inform whether or not they need to acquire property. And right now, the plan would not necessarily be to acquire property if they don't need to. So,
Okay.
but that could change if they get a bunch of feedback or the study shows they need to put in something that they're not planning, including things that go around or, like.
Does it affect the retaining walls then?
It affects a lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, I mean, there's, we haven't gotten that far into it yet to see what that looks like, but, anywhere along these areas, that there's, I mean, it's pretty substantial in terms of how far back they actually go. But, so, it's all.
I'll say, but, because some of those got into
No,
issues the last time around.
Well, and ideally, now is the time to fix, because there are significant, issues with some of the
Yeah.
retaining walls in that way,
Yeah.
that need to be, because they haven't been done since
Yeah, yeah.
probably the 70s, 80s.
No, I was around. When was it done?
It had to be like in the late 80s or 90s.
Yeah, it might have been 90s.
90s, yeah.
Yeah,
Union Street out was
Yeah.
94, 95.
so they might have, yeah,
I don't know when Union Street
I know there was
was.
an uproar because some of those homes
yeah,
on the
Looks like-
north side, I mean,
Yeah.
the sidewalk and then the
Yeah.
house
yeah,
almost,
yeah,
so.
exactly.
So, yeah, feel free to attend,
Yeah.
When is it due to be done?
2030. So I got here in like 21. It took me till 22 to get their attention, and 23 to get an SMA.
I'm glad it's getting done.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a
they
hassle.
weren't. We weren't even on their radar. They
Same,
weren't.
same thing in Berlin.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
They weren't even gonna touch us.
No.
So anyway,
All right, if there's no other future agenda items to discuss, would like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?